Hello, I'm Steve Preston. I'd like to talk with you for just a few minutes about the importance of stewardship for our church and for you. Our theme this year is Walking in Grace, Sharing Our Bounty. As your senior warden, I get to see and be part of almost all aspects of our life and ministry together. There is so much more involved in modern church life than may appear on the surface of things. Hours of work by clergy, staff, and lay volunteers go into preparing for each worship service every week. Scheduling and coordinating special events like performances by outside music groups takes a lot of work by our music coordinator, choir director, parish administrator, and lay members. Communicating with and coordinating our many lay ministries involves the efforts and time of clergy, lay leaders, and staff. For example, since my appointment as senior warden in February of this year, I have sent and received more than 4,000 emails related to church operations and have participated in countless texts, calls, Zoom, and in-person parish and diocesan meetings. And I'm only one volunteer. God's work in this world takes the dedicated efforts of many, many believers. And the expenses of parish ministry are many and varied. Personnel costs for a staff of 4, electric, gas, phone, and internet charges, office equipment and supplies, ongoing maintenance expenses for aging buildings on 3 properties, the church campus, Smullen House, and Transfiguration House, our rectory, worship and music supplies, clergy, lay leader, and parish education expenses, community outreach donations, which were 0% of our budget 5 years ago, and now are about 7.5% of the budget, support of the work of our diocese and the Episcopal Church through our monthly apportionments, and so much more. God's work in this world also takes money. I share this not to discourage you, but to show you the importance of your stewardship to God's work in this community of believers, in our larger community, and in the world. I began by talking about our activities, not about money, because the gifts of your abilities and time are crucial to our ministry together. The abilities and experiences that God has gifted to you are also a gift from God through you to this community of faith. Finding your place of personal ministry in Christ Church, as well as in the community around us, fulfills God's desire for your life in this world. Stewardship is the management of someone else's property. We believe that all we have is gifted to us by God, and that we are called to be responsible managers of God's gifts. A joyful response to those gifts from God is to give back to God part of what God has given to us as responsible stewards. Your pledge to Christ Church, new, renewed, or increased, enables God's work to continue and thrive through all of us together. And your pledges make planning for the next year much easier and more realistic. My husband, Dan Hafer, and I have found that we have never lacked, as we have pledged in increasing amounts each year to support God's work through Christ Church. I invite you to prayerfully and responsibly consider how you can contribute in 2023 to our mutual ministry through Christ Church. And if you have already submitted your pledge, thank you in Christ's name. I look forward to seeing you next time at church. May God's blessings rest on you and on your house.